Yeah, we can try this, but I haven't played in a long time. It's probably going to be bad.
You have it sitting out. How come you haven't played it?
Well, it's sitting out to try to get me to play it.
Here's your chance.
Which I guess it worked because you saw it. It was in the way you were trying to get my Wi-Fi password. Okay, what do you think I should do?
Whatever first comes to your heart.
It's going to be bad. I can tell I have, like, lip balm on my lips, too. I could never play with anything on my lips.
You got it.
Okay. Okay, that's not right. Okay, how about... No.
Hey, good effort.
You got that beginning part anyway. That would be the sound of Philadelphia, also known as TSOP. All right, that's enough.
Way to go.
Yeah,
Way to go. Round of applause for Tej.
No warm-ups, no anything.
Welcome to another episode of Thunderwudgies.
Yeah.
Episode number 3.
Brought to you by my Wi-Fi password. I meant to customize it and have it be something like Little Flower or something, or
Rose Petal Blossom.
Suma something. 4YCGH hashtag 2383. It's kind of interesting that the trombone was in the way and then ended up playing it because last time marching band came up.
Yeah, the last episode we finished off with an almost story, or what would have been a story.
That you rudely cut off.
Well,
you judged me.
Comedic timing is
if you want to call
key
it that.
Here. Mm-hmm. It's what it was.
I mean, it was pretty funny, actually.
We ended the episode in stitches last time, and we had an email, and they were asking for...
And it wasn't my mom.
The finish.
Because my mom knows this story. You'll find out why.
The fan was asking for... do we get to call them a fan? They call themselves a fan, so they are a fan.
Yeah.
Our biggest fan.
Memories fade. It's been a long time since high school, but I'll do my best to try and really paint a beautiful, vivid picture. I was a good student mostly. So the good teachers thought that I was a model student. The bad teachers thought I was a little hellion and didn't understand why they couldn't control me. But it was because they had no control. So I had the misfortune of having a absolutely fantastic band director who had been at the school for like 18 years or something, who retired right before my senior year. And they hired a buffoon to run the band. Now, for those of you that don't know, maybe you live in areas where they don't have marching bands or things like that. And I think it probably varies from school to school. I went to a large high school, and so our band had over 100 kids. So over 100 teenagers with one teacher. Okay, usually teachers complain. They say their class is over full. At least around here, you hear a lot of whining.
Kids.
Yeah, they have 30 kids.
Yep, too many.
Yep. So, and we had it wasn't like 100 nerds. I mean, everyone has their inner nerd, I guess you just said. But, I mean, we had kids that were into smoking pot. We had kids that were also jocks. We had I think, a very diverse band. So anyway.
That was 100 kids is my entire graduating class.
Okay, that was not my
That was
life.
More than my entire graduating class.
Okay.
We had 92.
Yeah. Okay, well, you know that. Like, I'm just like, I have a general idea. But, so, I had been used to having, like, a position of authority in the band for the last few years. I have leadership skills.
Because you were a senior.
I was a senior, but I also just, like, people do what I tell them to do. I don't know, is that Slytherin?
It's your Gryffindor side. It's your bravery.
Anyway, whatever.
Imperious.
Yeah, imperious. Yeah, I do that. So, I mean, I was used to kind of doing whatever I wanted. And our director was secure enough that he had leaders within the band and things like that. He didn't need to be micromanaging everybody. Whatever. He was gifted. So we got this clown for our new band director senior year. And from day one, I think I might have gotten almost kicked out of the band at like the first rehearsal. I mean, it was like, you will not go to band camp. Like, I think we had 1 or 2 rehearsals, and we went to band camp in the summer. And I think I was threatened to not do that. And so it just devolved from there. So basically, this guy had no control of the class whatsoever. And so because of that, I mean, this is going to be a worldwide phenomenon, and people are going to probably figure out what I'm talking about. But anyway, he eventually brought in these other ladies that we called the Narc Sisters to try and, like, watch people because he couldn't keep an eye on everyone. And so they needed, like, extra help. because everybody was just being wild because they didn't respect him and hated him and stuff. So anyway, so normally we would rehearse in the parking lot. They had stripes painted in the parking lot with the football field because we were not allowed to practice on the football field because it was the sacred ground of the football players. Even though they wear cleats, whatever, and they tear that up all the time. Whatever, little band.
You can't.
Band kids can't practice on it. So we had a parking lot. Someone noticed while we were rehearsing Monday, there was this piece of crap car just sitting in the parking lot
that needed to be driven.
Well, so we're having a sectional. The trombones are over in the corner goofing off. One of the kids noticed that and started poking around. Oh, the door's open. Hey, there's a key to the ignition. Hey, now this is kind of thing it's amazing to think about now. Me being old, I would think danger. I would think bomb. There's a lot wrong with this situation. The car was filled with trash, abandoned, door open, key in the ignition. Should be a lot to be alarmed about, right?
Yep.
We were like, hey, we should play with this. Why not, right? The idea came, we should push the car and block in the football coach's Beamer. Because that would be funny. You have this piece of crap hoopty car.
And then take the keys.
Well, it wouldn't start. So we had a section of trombones. And so one kid sat, I don't even know how he sat in this thing, it was foul. But he sat in it and steered. And we pushed this car out of the band parking lot, over a curb, over a stretch of grass, down the other curb, into the teacher's parking lot, and we're going back and forth to
trying to get it in the right
maneuver
spot.
this thing so it would block in the football coach's Beamer. I think I was managing. I don't think I was pushing because I'm a leader. So I would just like to point out, this is during a band rehearsal where there are teachers there who have failed to notice that 10 to 15 students are monkeying around with the band and car for an extended period of time. So obvious teacher negligence here. So at some point, I was, managing the operations here, and I believe I looked up and realized my mom was stomping across the parking lot coming towards me. And I was like, oh crap. And I was like, what are you doing? Nothing.
Just moving this car.
Right,
Safety.
Just whatever. And I just thought, I am dead meat. I'm going to be grounded for the rest of my life. I don't know if the teacher ever noticed that this was going on. And my mom put a stop to it. I think I either didn't get in trouble or very little, which I was shocked about. I think it was mostly because my parents were so utterly amazed that was able to go on. And I had another teacher where I just was like, she's so not paying attention to us. I bet you I could just lay on the floor and she wouldn't notice. So I did. I just slid out of my chair. Public school, people.
I did not get into trouble in high school like that. I just didn't do anything.
I did wander the halls. I don't remember how I was doing that, but I would definitely, I kind of knew which classrooms my friends were in. I would just kind of yell their names in the hallway when I'd walk past the door and stuff. Go in the bathroom or something.
I once took a nap in a teacher's office because they let me.
Yeah, I did that too. She felt bad when she could tell I was fatigued. I slept in her papasan chair.
This teacher had a couch. Took a nap on that couch.
Yeah.
Yep.
What class was that? What did that teacher teach?
Philosophy.
Mine was television. Yeah. Let the creative artists get their beauty rest.
Yep. I was skipping my computer design class. I went to the philosophy teacher because I knew he had a couch, and was like, "Hey, can I take a nap here? I'm just exhausted." And he did. He let me take a nap there.
School, especially high school, should not start as early as it does.
It should be like college and start whenever you decide.
The hell you decide it starts. The world would be a better place.
Yeah.
I actually just read something in the local paper here about the push once again to make school start. It's like, there was a part of me that kind of resented that, because I feel like, if they actually go through with that, it's not fair. Why did I have to suffer? And these
also,
dumb
if
high
they want
schoolers-
school to start later, it doesn't go later.
I would have to.
No.
Yeah, it would.
You cut out all the crap in between.
Maybe the football games are at 7 in the morning.
Maybe the teachers have to move from classroom to classroom.
Maybe each kid should get a cot so they can nap.
There's
a lot of options.
Less classes. They should do the thing that colleges do, where it's a Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and a Tuesday, Thursday.
Yeah.
Just like Hogwarts.
True.
I mean, I think it's a great idea. There should not be that much time spent in a classroom. If a teacher ever has to turn on a movie, something's wrong.
Especially because you don't really learn anything in school.
There's one reason to turn on like a YouTube video, and it's the anaphase prophase hoedown. The DNA strand, is shaped like an X.
Yeah.
And he has a cowboy hat on, and he sings about anaphase prophase. One of them.
I've never seen that.
Started with an M. It's
I'm
really
probably
old.
too old.
It's really old.
I was like in school before the internet. It's not true.
I was 2, and then we got it when I was in kindergarten.
No.
Preschool, no internet.
I think I got my first email address when I was, I'm guessing either a junior or senior in high school. I want an owl. It said, write me a letter.
A piece of parchment with a bunch of forwards on it.
Oh my gosh, what a waste.
That'd be so long.
Well, because you'd have to pay the owl.
The amount of scrolling you'd have to, those are ridiculous. And then you get to the end and be like, if you love Jesus,
forward this.
Pass this on.
How people finally realize, you know what, is that why Trump got elected? Because you didn't forward the chain letter?
Oh my God.
I just realized that.
Something bad will happen in 10 years, and then it did.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
It's your fault. I had a note thing that I was kind of using on my phone.
Yeah.
And then it failed me. I went to a motorcycle convention, and I got properly fitted for a helmet so I'd know what size, what shape, whatever. They had a guy there that looked at you, and he knew
your size.
He knew what helmet you needed. And he could tell you, you're going to want this brand because it has an ovular shaped helmet and you have an ovular head. And so these are kind of the 2 brands you're going to want. And then within that, you're going to want this size and this and whatever. Wrote that in my note thing on my phone. When I went to look, it wasn't there.
But you don't ride motorcycles anymore.
Yeah, it's true.
So did it fail you, or did it predict your future?
I don't know. Maybe it protected me. Okay, does anyone else appreciate? This is one of those things that most people don't know that I did learn to ride a motorcycle.
What else?
But I think people are like, when they hear these weird things, they look at me at work and they probably just think I'm kind of this introverted nerd. And then if they knew I had ridden motorcycles, they'd be like, what?
My experience has been people think I'm a giant weirdo, and then when I say things like I play Dungeons and Dragons, but I also play guitar. Their response is, "Of course you do."
What? I mean, that's, I think, a good response. That's cool. But I just, this is one of my favorite things was when I was more involved in the church group, and I rode the motorcycle to the church group.
And they were like, what?
Well, half the people thought it was the coolest thing, and they wanted to sit on it and wear the helmet and everything, right? Like,
did that
one of your cousins.
Did that bother the crap out of you?
No, I was like, I mean, I felt a little like, I don't
the cool kid in town?
Well, I don't like being paid attention to that much, especially for things that I feel like are rather, superficial, or, it's not, as much about me. But, I mean, it was fun. It seemed to amuse people. I, enjoy bringing joy to others. But what was funny was there was a girl that, I think it was her first time coming.
Yeah.
And I remember it. So then we had this time of prayer, and then we went to the bar. I could just tell that she was I don't know how to verbalize the look that she had on her face, but you could side-eye, a little afraid, backing away.
Did she smell something?
When we're, not like Narcissa Malfoy, but when we're sitting around a big old table, because there's a bunch of us, and you could tell that she just didn't want to be sitting anywhere near me, and was weirded out that we had some biker chick in the group, I think, and never saw her again. I mean, I'm not saying I know there's a correlation,
but there might be a correlation.
I mean, there could be, and I also don't think that people usually pay that much attention to me, and I just really felt like I was getting the vibes.
Unfortunately, you ride a bike.
Yeah, I don't like this motorcycle girl is here. She's probably a bad person.
Yeah, but I mean, and I would kind of be proud that I gave off that vibe. How do you feel about it? The
Dungeons and Dragons vibe?
No, the vibe, if somebody was giving me that side eye, this person
that you're a badass biker chick?
Yeah. How did you feel about that situation?
I don't know. I mean, I guess I would be sad if that genuinely kept someone from coming to a group that, it's hard to come to something when you're new, it's easy to be maybe intimidated, or, maybe she had the willpower to show up, and I would hope that wouldn't prevent her from, continuing. But I mean, different groups exist for different people. So if it wasn't the right fit for her and she found something else, I hope that happened. I don't know.
You're a better person than I.
Why?
Because I would have been like, that's right, get out of here. I'm cooler than you.
You don't belong in this biker church group.
And then I would have taken like a long drink of my beer.
Get a really big beer. You shouldn't drink and ride a motorcycle.
That's probably not a good idea.
You fall over. I was actually surprised in the motorcycle course. I swear, like a third of, there was like an instruction night, and then we had 2 days riding.
Mm-hmm.
I swear, like a third of the instruction night was them telling us to not drink alcohol and ride a motorcycle. I mean,
I've never even ridden a motorcycle.
no, but I just mean it's like, well, you hear don't drink and drive all the time. I don't know why you need to really pound that home.
But with a car, there's
don't
no
fall
element
over.
of balance.
Yeah. Rationally, you look at the situation and say, I think you could figure it out on your own. That would be worse. And not only that, but you're more likely to just get smeared all over the road.
Even if you're not drinking.
Even if you're not doing anything, you're going to get whacked by an SUV and you're going to die. Yeah, definitely anti-drinking and riding.
Unless you're riding a horse or a broom. Don't ride a broom.
Oh.
But will the magic keep you afloat if one
So
was drunk
how many
on a
butter
broom?
beers can one have before riding, and it's okay to still ride a broom? I would
Well-
think it would be more dangerous to, like, apparate
When they're
drunk.
Yes. When they're learning
You're going to
to
get
ride
splinched.
when they're learning to ride a broom.
Maybe it's
The
less...
brooms kind of have like a mind of their own.
Yeah, well, yeah.
So if you were like keep
Get you
you
home safely.
would it set you down?
Take
if-
you at the back roads. The likelihood of muggles seeing you would be increased because you'd probably be like, woo, you know?
You'd start doing tricks.
Yeah,
and-
being dumb, flying too
Yeah.
low.
On our next episode, we will divulge the meaning of life. Thank you for joining us for another episode of Thunderwudgies. You can email us at thunderwudgies, plural, @gmail.com, or send us a tweet at Thunderwudgie, capital T, capital W.